1 minute ago, UK politics is shaking as Keir Starmer finally reacts to Nigel Farage's latest bold move. Tensions between the Labour leader and the Reform UK head are rising, and the nation is watching closely to see how this political clash unfolds. Today, the spotlight is on Nigel Farage after he was referred to the Metropolitan Police over alleged irregularities in Reform UK's election campaign expenses during the 2024 Clacton by-election. Farage and his party have been accused of failing to properly declare certain campaign-related costs, including promotional materials, transport and operational expenses, which, if proven, could be considered breaches of UK electoral law. Reform UK has strongly denied any wrongdoing, calling the allegations politically motivated and claiming that all official expenses submitted were within legal limits. The controversy has sparked widespread discussion across the UK political landscape, with analysts and the public closely watching how Labour leader Keir Starmer responds to this development. Starmer, who has been largely silent until now, is under pressure to address these claims while maintaining a focus on governance and national priorities. This unfolding situation highlights ongoing concerns about transparency in election spending, the influence of political parties on local campaigns, and the scrutiny that high-profile political figures face in the public eye. As investigations proceed, the UK electorate remains attentive, curious to see whether the allegations will lead to formal charges, political fallout, or vindication for Farage and his party. As the referral of Nigel Farage to the Metropolitan Police continues to draw attention, the potential outcomes of this political controversy have become a subject of intense speculation among political analysts, journalists, and the public. At the heart of the situation is the allegation that Reform UK, under Farage's leadership, may have failed to fully declare all campaign-related expenses during the 2024 Clacton by-election. If the authorities find evidence supporting these claims, several scenarios could unfold. Firstly, the Electoral Commission could launch a formal investigation scrutinising the party's campaign spending reports in detail. This could involve auditing financial records, reviewing invoices for materials and services used during the campaign, and interviewing staff or former affiliates who may have insight into the party's expenditure processes. Should a breach of electoral law be confirmed, there are multiple potential consequences for Farage and Reform UK. Legally, fines or sanctions could be imposed on the party, and in extreme cases, individuals found responsible could face personal liability. Politically, such findings could significantly damage Farage's public credibility, particularly as Reform UK seeks to expand its influence nationally. Opposition parties, including Labour and the Conservatives, may seize on the findings to question the party's integrity and call for stricter oversight of political spending. Even absent legal repercussions, the reputational impact could be substantial. As media coverage continues to highlight the controversy and public debate intensifies on social media platforms and news outlets, Keir Starmer's response is also a focal point of this unfolding narrative. Until now, Starmer has maintained a cautious stance, focusing on broader governance issues while avoiding direct confrontation. However, with growing public scrutiny, Starmer may feel compelled to comment more directly. A strong, measured response could bolster his image as a leader committed to transparency and accountability, reinforcing Labour's position as a party that upholds democratic principles. On the other hand, overreacting or politicising the situation prematurely could be perceived as opportunistic, potentially opening Starmer up to criticism from both the public and political rivals. Beyond the immediate legal and political consequences, this situation has broader implications for UK politics. Electoral spending and campaign finance have long been sensitive topics, with previous controversies highlighting the need for stringent monitoring and transparency. The Farage referral serves as a reminder of the scrutiny that political figures face, particularly when they lead parties seeking rapid growth or influence in contentious constituencies. Media coverage of the issue has been extensive, reflecting both public interest and the role of journalism in holding political leaders accountable. The proliferation of social media commentary, including debates, fact-checking threads, and opinion polls, further amplifies the pressure on all parties involved, shaping public perception in real time. Another important thing to mention is the reaction among Reform UK supporters and the broader electorate. Farage has cultivated a loyal base that often perceives challenges against him as politically motivated attacks. As the investigation continues, several timelines are important to note. The referral to police represents the initial step, after which the Electoral Commission and law enforcement may conduct thorough reviews. Depending on the complexity of financial records and the volume of evidence, this process could extend over several months. And throughout this period, media coverage is expected to remain intense, particularly with frequent updates on social media and breaking news platforms. Politicians, commentators, and the public alike will monitor developments closely, and each new revelation has the potential to shift the narrative and influence the political landscape. Finally, the Farage-Starmer dynamic underscores the broader theme of accountability in modern UK politics. Leaders of prominent parties are continuously under scrutiny for their actions, both legally and morally. And the public expects transparency in how political campaigns are conducted. The unfolding situation provides an opportunity for discourse on ethical campaigning, electoral integrity and the responsibilities of political leadership. Whether Farage is cleared, sanctioned or vindicated, the debate sparked by these events will have lasting implications on how campaigns are perceived and how parties conduct themselves in future elections. The ongoing political developments involving Nigel Farage and Keir Starmer are shaping up to have significant long-term implications for the UK political landscape. At the centre of this narrative is the question of accountability, governance and public trust in political figures. If the allegations surrounding Farage's campaign spending are investigated thoroughly and found to have merit, this could set a precedent for heightened scrutiny of political parties and candidates nationwide. Such a precedent would likely influence how future campaigns are managed, emphasising transparency and adherence to legal limits on expenditure. Political analysts have suggested that even the perception of wrongdoing can impact voter confidence, making it crucial for parties to demonstrate clear and ethical financial practices in all electoral processes. Farage's position as the leader of Reform UK places him under intense observation. The party has been gaining momentum, fueled by a combination of populist messaging and dissatisfaction with mainstream political options. However, controversies surrounding campaign finance could hinder that momentum if they are perceived as undermining the legitimacy of the party. For Farage himself, this situation represents both a challenge, and an opportunity. Should he successfully navigate the allegations without legal consequences, it could reinforce his image as a resilient, anti-establishment figure capable of overcoming opposition and scrutiny. On the other hand, any misstep or confirmation of wrongdoing could significantly weaken his standing among voters, donors and political allies, impacting Reform UK's broader strategy. Keir Starmer, as the leader of the Labour Party, also faces strategic implications from this unfolding situation. His response to the controversy needs to balance political prudence with public expectation for accountability. Engaging too aggressively could risk the perception of opportunism, while remaining silent for too long could be seen as a lack of leadership or decisiveness. Starmer's careful navigation of this scenario will likely influence both public perception and internal party dynamics. Analysts have noted that political leaders are often judged not just by their policy positions, but by their ability to manage crises and demonstrate integrity when confronted with controversial events involving opponents. Beyond the immediate actors, the media's role in shaping the narrative is crucial. Traditional news outlets, social media platforms, and citizen journalism collectively amplify public interest and scrutiny. Coverage of the Farage referral has already dominated headlines and online discussions, highlighting the speed at which political news can go viral and influence public opinion. This environment of heightened visibility means that both Starmer and Farage must be increasingly aware of the optics surrounding their actions, statements, and the timing of public responses. Political communication strategies have therefore become central to how parties manage crises and maintain voter trust. The broader political environment in the UK is also relevant to understanding the potential consequences. Voter behaviour is influenced not only by individual incidents, but also by trends, such as the rise of populist movements, concerns over governance, and debates around democratic integrity. The Farage-Starmer dynamic serves as a microcosm of these larger trends, illustrating the tension between established parties and newer political movements challenging the status quo. Compliance. Such changes would not only affect Reform UK but all political parties, potentially reshaping the landscape of campaign finance and political accountability in the UK. Public engagement and perception are another critical factor in an era where misinformation and viral content can influence opinions rapidly. Ensuring that accurate information is disseminated becomes paramount. Both Farage and Starmer operate in an environment where their actions are constantly scrutinised, commented upon and sometimes misrepresented. Managing public perception through credible, transparent communication is therefore a central aspect of modern political strategy. Observers suggest that leaders who can maintain clarity, consistency and responsiveness in their messaging are more likely to retain voter trust even amid controversy. Finally, the long-term implications for UK democracy are considerable. Situations such as this test the resilience of democratic institutions, the effectiveness of electoral oversight, and the public's confidence in political leadership. They also demonstrate the interconnectedness of media, public opinion, and political accountability. As investigations proceed and political reactions unfold, stakeholders ranging from party leaders to voters will be assessing not just the specific actions of Farage or Starmer, but the broader integrity of the political system itself. The outcome of this controversy may therefore have ramifications beyond immediate electoral results, influencing policy making, party strategies and voter engagement for years to come.